6 years, 11 months and 8 days after Todd NcNair sued the NCAA for defamation, the former USC assistant coach and 52 other people crowded into room 500 at the Stanley Moss Courthouse on Friday for closing arguments in the trial. 3 weeks of testimony led to the final showdown in the stuffy, wood-paneled room. Advertisement. Bruce Broyle, the silver-haired NcNair attorney who likes to joke about his 5'2" height, faced the jury's 9 women and 3 men. He usually speaks in a grandfatherly tone, but this time his voice had an edge. The NCAA seems to have a sense of no accountability, Broyle said. They're huge, and they think they can do anything back in Indianapolis the way they want to and not be held accountable. They never thought Todd NcNair would stand up. Advertisement. NcNair alleged the NCAA's Infractions Committee essentially ended his coaching career in June 2010 by finding him guilty of unethical conduct in connection with the extra benefits scandal surrounding former Trojans running back Reggie Bush. The jury will start deliberations Monday on counts of slander and libel. NcNair's attorneys dropped 2 other causes of action, breach of contract and negligence, late Thursday. After 3 weeks of witnesses, video depositions, charts, slides and other documents, Broyle all but begged the group to send a message to the NCAA for a botched investigation of NcNair. He accused the organization, as he has throughout the trial, of changing evidence and violating its own rules to implicate NcNair and use that as a pretext to increase sanctions against USC. Broyle asked the jury for $27 million in actual damages, plus unspecified punitive damages, as he took them through the 9-question verdict form. If this is what goes on at the NCAA all the time, your verdict needs to clean it up, Broyle said. They make the rules for everybody else, but when they have an agenda, they bend them and break them for themselves. Advertisement. The attorney emphasized points by repeating lyrics from the same Bob Dylan song, "You Don't Need a Weatherman to Know Which Way the Wind Blows." Broyle invoked Joe Montana, Street Paul and the Three Musketeers, described the NCAA's approach as malarkey, and Bupkis called the Infractions Committee a kangaroo court. NcNair watched from the first row, his usual spot during the trial, his right arm tight around his wife Lynette. The former coach, who testified through tears last week about sinking into depression and having to use food stamps after USC didn't renew his contract in June 2010, remained expressionless. Kosta Stoljkovic, the former assistant U.S. attorney leading the NCAA's legal team in the case, spent much of his closing argument assailing Broyle. Their star witness isn't Todd NcNair, Stoljkovic said. Their star witness is counsel, and that is simply not someone you can listen to. He later added, when you don't have evidence, you just start making stuff up. They can't meet their burden on the evidence, so they have to muddy the waters somehow. The attorney mocked Broyle's request for punitive damages. Apparently $27 million is not enough, and they should be embarrassed. Stoljkovic accused NcNair of having selective amnesia while testifying and dismissed a series of incendiary emails by non-voting members of the Infractions Committee as a distraction. There's a hole the size of the Grand Canyon in their story, and the hole is why should all these Infractions Committee volunteers from across the county come together to railroad Todd NcNair, Stoljkovic said. Advertisement. He put up a slide titled, "NcNair Wants Special Treatment." The attorney claimed the reason NcNair hasn't landed a college or professional coaching job is because he didn't send out enough applications. The attorney said of the 1-year show-cause sanction that banned NcNair from recruiting, there's just no evidence this was a career-ending penalty. Stoljkovic's voice dropped to a whisper a few minutes later as he finished with a jab at Broyle's Dylan references. We're not at a concert here, we're in a court of law, and you do need evidence before you get $1 or 27 million of them, Stoljkovic said. They don't have the evidence. In a brief rebuttal, Broyle assured the jurors he disagreed with each of Stoljkovic's words. He called Stoljkovic's assertion the NCAA has taken responsibility for its mistakes in the NcNair case malarkey. He punched the air for emphasis. There's one thing I want you to remember, Broyle said. What you do in this case will have consequences for Todd NcNair and consequences far beyond. Nathan.Fenno at LATimes.com. Follow Nathan Fenno on Twitter at NathanFenno.